say right now, instead of coming to the free tour, okay, we all showed up here to watch a movie. Okay, say we all showed up, it's like, okay guys, I got this awesome movie and everyone's psyched to see it. Say it's like a bootlegged version of, say there's a new Batman. So it's like The Dark Knight Rises again. Okay, so Dark Knight Rises again. None of us saw it, it's not even out yet, but I have like this bootlegged copy. Okay, and it's like the shit. I'm like, okay guys, Dark Knight Rises again, are you psyched? And everyone's like, fuck yeah, like you guys are super, super psyched. Okay, everyone's psyched to see the whole movie. Now say me, just through random circumstances, throughout my life, I've never seen the last 5 minutes of a movie before. That's just me, just random things. Like all throughout my childhood, every time I'd watch a movie, something would happen and I would always miss the ending. I would always miss the last 5 minutes. That's just me. Now what if I show up here today, I'm like, okay guys, psyched to see the movie? Everyone's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, you know what'd be cool? What if we just watched the last 5 minutes? Do you guys want that? Do you want to see the last 5 minutes? Everyone's like, well, we do, but we want to see the whole movie, not just the last 5 minutes. Okay? And that's the same as guys who, for example, don't get sex that often. Okay? They don't sleep with girls that often. They don't get those last 5 minutes. And as soon as they kind of see the opportunity for it, they try to speed up to the last 5 minutes. It's like, oh, the girl likes me. Sex, 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 sex. And they just try to lead, pull, and just like really try to accelerate to the end. But the thing is, the girl wants sex, but she wants to see the whole movie. She wants the build up. She wants the vibing. She wants to get to know you. She wants the whole escalation, then like the nice climax that leads to sex. Okay? You just trying to accelerate to it shows that you probably don't get it that often, puts you in a very scarce mentality and just very low value. And she'll just lose attraction instantly. Okay? Instantly. And that's what guys freak out. It's like, oh, she likes me. This is my only shot. And they don't think they can get it again with another girl. They don't think if they take their time, like they have the limiting belief that the more they talk to girls, the more she'll have the opportunity to reject them, the more you're probably going to fuck it up. Like I'm doing so well so far. If I just keep on talking, I might shoot myself in the foot and she'll lose attraction. So you just try to get to the future, and then she just gets repulsed by that. Okay, so really view it as like, okay, I'm watching the whole movie, the ending's gonna come. Assume they're gonna sleep with a girl, like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck this girl, but why stress things out? Take your time, build the vibe, view her as a human being, and actually enjoy the interaction for what it is. Now, on that note as well, don't fucking pause the movie. Don't just do nothing and just chill back. Like, you're still moving it forward, but you're not fast forwarding. Guys come from the mindset of like, okay, every set is like a unique little instance. Like say you go out at night. We all go out tonight. Say you go out tonight, you're gonna view your set like, okay, first approach. Hey, how's it going? Rejection. 0 out of 1. That's how you view it, 0 out of 1. Second approach. Hey, how's it going? 0 out of 2. Shit. Third approach. Hey, how's it going? And then you fuck the girl. Like, 1 out of 3. Not that good. 1 out of 3, 33%, that sucks. Like if someone asks you like, dude, what's your percentage? Like what's your close rate? And you're like, 33%, not even 50. Like do you realize, first of all, 33%, how ridiculous that is? Like if you're fucking 33% of the women you're approaching, I mean, oh my God. Okay, like say you talk to 9 girls a night, you're fucking 3 girls a night. Okay, that's fucking 21 girls a week, 84 girls a month, almost close to 1,000 a year. It's not gonna fucking happen, okay? It doesn't happen that way. And they don't realize is that they view it as like, every set's unique, but they don't view it as like, okay, when is the set happening? Like when throughout the course of the night, for example, is the set happening? Because it's very rare that you guys are gonna pull and actually fuck the girl during the first half of the night. Okay, like Tim used to call this like the 10 to 12 and then 12 to 2. The first 2 hours, it's very rare girls can be like, okay, I'm going home with you and just fuck you. Very, very rare. It might happen. You can always fuck them in the bathroom there, but they're not going to necessarily leave the club, the bar, their friends to go home and fuck you. Why? Think in terms of the movie again. They just arrived. The movie just started. If they're just like, oh, the start of the night, let's have a few drinks, joke around with my girlfriends, and some guy comes in, even though he's super cool, she's not just going to want to ditch that and skip to the end. She'll want to fuck him, but at the end. She still wants to see the whole movie. And guys don't get that. And they're like, oh, first set, rejected, shit. Even though they couldn't have pulled the girl in the first place. Okay, so the way I view it is instead of viewing like little separate sets, I view the whole night as one big set. That's the way to view it. It's like the whole night is one set. Everything just builds up and builds up and builds up, and at the end, you either pull or you don't. That's the big set. There is no rejection, there is no success, especially in the first 2 hours. It doesn't fucking matter, because you can't even do anything most of the time. Like even if it's going amazingly well with a girl and she doesn't reject you, you're not gonna fuck her and it's gonna end at some point. At some point you're gonna be like, well, give me your number, and day 2 her. But guess what, you didn't fuck the girl. It could be considered a rejection as well. At the same by the same token, you could be talking to a girl, she rejects you early in the night, and then you see her later on in the night, go talk to her again, and fuck her. So there really is no rejections or good sets at all. It's just like a whole process of like building your zone, like shooting the shit, talking to people, enjoying the movie, like progressing, and then at the end, making it happen. So you understand the process of the night. Okay, the process of the night. First 2 hours or so, don't count. You're just shooting the shit and you're building leads. Okay, you're talking to girls and you're kind of establishing the logistics and establishing her situation. Okay, because it's not enough to just go out and just fuck around. That's not enough. And guys confuse it. It's like, okay, well, if I get the attraction down and I get the vibing down and I'm grounded, present to the moment, self-amused, I'm physical, I'm getting her reacting to me, she's just gonna fuck me. And that's what they think. When they master that, it's just gonna happen for them. But it's not, okay? No girl is ever going to jump on your dick. No matter how cool you are, no matter how centered or present or self-actualized you are, they're not gonna do it, okay? Don't think that you can just roll up in the club and be like, you know what? I've meditated for the last year. I'm very present to the moment. And just hope for girls to just jump on your dick. They're not gonna be like, he's present, and just like jump on you, okay? It's not gonna happen. Like that's the baseline, but you still have to make it happen, okay? It's in your hands. And for the girl to try to make it happen would be her risking to seem like a slut, okay? And no girl is ever gonna risk seeming like a slut. You have to make it happen. And the first step of making it happen is determining her logistics, determining what this girl's situation is. Because you can be talking, having fun, and say, for example, she's leaving that same night to her country that's like, a 10-hour flight away. If you don't ask those questions, you're gonna be wasting your time with that girl. You're gonna be talking for, say, 2 hours, and then it's time for the climax. You're like, let's go. And she's like, oh, actually, I'm leaving right now, my plane. You're like, oh, shit, like you had no idea. Maybe she has friends there. She's the designated driver. Maybe she has a boyfriend there. Maybe there's just no way she'll go home that night. You have no fucking idea, and you have to ask the questions to find out what you're dealing with. Okay, what is this girl's situation? What am I dealing with to know how to proceed? You can't just blindly proceed in the interaction hoping that it's just gonna happen. You need to find out, okay, who are her friends? Where does she live? Are we gonna pull to her place, to my place? If none of the above, what street, what alley, like how is this gonna happen? And you have to determine that. And this is establishing the logistics. Asking the boring questions like, what do you do? Are you working tomorrow? Where do you live? What area? Who are you here with? Oh, cool. And asking those chode questions. Okay, you have to ask those questions. You can't just be like fun, 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 fun. You have to get down to business. The way the interaction progresses is you open, you shoot the shit. So it's like the first half is just like building the vibe, like getting attracted to each other, maybe being a little physical, establishing that compatibility. But once that's set, it doesn't help to just keep doing that. Okay, it's like, okay, that's set. Look, we obviously like each other. How are we making this happen right now? Okay, where do you live? What are the logistics? And you find out her situation. Now, once you find out the situation, depending again, if it's earlier on or later on in the night, you have two options. If it's earlier on, you can either get her phone number and try to day two her or pull her later in the night. Okay, or just stick on the set and spend your whole night with a girl. But most of the time, girls will also want to talk to some other guys just to build the fun. She doesn't want to stay stuck on the first guy who talks to her the whole night. So I oftentimes tend to opt for the day two or later on in that night. So you ask for a phone number. It's like, okay, anyway, when are we hanging out again? One of the ways I love to introduce this is I always say, have coffee with me tomorrow. I say that all the time, have coffee with me tomorrow. What it does is, first of all, it sets the rhythm for the second part of the interaction where now it's like, okay, we're hanging out. It's not just a fuck around little moment in the night. And it also, places the idea of you guys hanging out during the day in a more like, down to earth type of situation, like where you can actually start talking and being more real. Because it's human tendency to associate club with just like, oh, drinks, fucking around, not necessarily real, but during the day it's more real. It's an illusion, but people tend to like place that value on it. So saying coffee with me tomorrow establishes that. So she says, oh, coffee tomorrow. So she pictures you guys sitting, having coffee, having a real conversation. You stand out, you cement yourself a little more. She starts viewing you more as like a human being. And it also plants the idea of, okay, we are hanging out again. Okay, because you don't just want to be the little fun guy. If you go in, you shoot the shit, build the vibe. You could even be kissing her, fingering her. If you're like, give me your number, she's probably going to give it to you, but she won't view you as like a real person. Okay, she'll be like, oh, he was just like some fun emotion in the night. He was a fun experience. He was good emotions, but she knows nothing about you, and most importantly, she didn't invest. Okay, so saying that sets the frame, and once I say that, have coffee with me tomorrow, I get her to invest in the interaction. okay? It's the old school value and qualification. Like right now, the first part of the interaction, you built value, okay? You put yourself in a position where you're higher value, you're the shit, she's attracted to you, but now you need the qualification side to it, which is getting her to invest, okay? Because if she doesn't do anything, she's not gonna have much to go on the next day when she wakes up. Okay, because in the moments, the mind always follows the emotions. She's feeling outgoing, she likes you, she's like, fuck yeah, let's do this. The next day when she wakes up, say she's a little hungover, say she's tired, her emotions are very different and her mind are gonna follow those emotions. Okay, I'm sure you guys experience this too. Like, you're so in the moment, you're like, yeah, let's do it tomorrow. Then you wake up the next day, you kind of feel bad, you're like, oh, let's hang out some other time. And maybe you might even flake on the girl because you don't feel like it, okay? Very important to understand, the emotions will change. And if all she had to go on was you just building the emotions, she'll probably not see you again because there's nothing else to go on. And most importantly, she didn't chase, she didn't invest. Okay, so as soon as I say that, coffee with me tomorrow, I create windows of investment. I say things, for example, like, you don't have to if you don't want to. Saying that creates the opportunity for her to say, I want to. And for a girl to say, I want to, takes a lot. That's like the type of investment you want. Because for her to say, I want to, means to admit that she likes you and kind of means putting herself out there. That's the investment that you're looking for. And you're looking for that more emotional investment. Okay, investment isn't getting the girl to talk. Guys confuse this. They're like, well, she's talking, she's investing. It's like, no. Is there the emotion behind it? She could be talking about whatever. She's like, no, and then I did this, and this, and this. There's no emotions. There's no opportunities for her to put herself out there. The more she puts herself out there, the more she kind of subtly risks her social, value for you, the better. Okay, that's her investing, that's her chasing, and that's what's gonna make her, more likely see you again.